Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the privacy edition on Switch to Linux. And today we are highlighting the affiliate link for private internet access. Once again, if you are in need of a VPN, some of you are in need of one, some of you may not be, but if you are in need of one or you want a good, secure way to jump country regions or block advertisers or things like that, then private internet access is a good US-based system. And using my affiliate link, you can get a year of it for $40 at this point in time. Oh, they got rid of the massive 2-year one, but that's all right. Actually, $40 for 1 year is still an excellent deal. It's actually, I think that's actually slightly cheaper than it was. I think it was $87 for 2 years. So that's kind of cool. So you can use my affiliate link, tlm.li/PIA. You can also check out my affiliates page on switchedtolinux.com. I think it's switchedtolinux.com/affiliates. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into the privacy news. All right, so this was interesting here. So Europe's top court basically, we all know when we talk about this that Facebook, whether or not you have a Facebook account, tracks you across the internet using the like buttons. In fact, there's probably one on this page somewhere. I don't know. This is TechCrunch. They have this infinite scrolly thing, which if the United States government has their way, that will be illegal soon too. But anyway, websites that have Facebook share links, things like that, are always scooping up this data. This is why the only way around it is to block Facebook on the computer or the network level. It's the only way to prevent them from tracking you around. But they're not the only bad offender. Pretty much anything that will load on your site could feasibly be passing data out to a company. And so while this ruling specifically targets the Facebook like button, it does apply to any plugins in the European Union. It's like they don't know how the internet works over there or something. I don't know. But the idea is that if you have a plugin on your website that shares data with any third party, you as the website owner, not the third party, is actually the one responsible for any data that is collected, stored, leaked, or otherwise violates European law. Very fascinating read here about, the background has to do with the Facebook tracking links and things like that. Like I said, this primarily targets Facebook, but there's other places as well. Now, if you are new to the weekly news roundup and the privacy edition, we start from the least frightening all the way down, and by the end, we'll all be like biting our nails and, hunkering down in the corner somewhere. This is neat. Anyone use Netflix out there? Well, Netflix apparently tests tracking of your physical activity to improve video quality. I don't know. Come on. I'm a skeptic. They're really tracking this stuff to see, is it really during the commercial breaks you pick up and walk to the refrigerator or the counter or cupboard to pick up more potato chips and soda pops or something. No, what they said is that they put this in. It was an experimental thing that was crammed into an update. This is why I don't auto-update stuff, people. It's crammed into an update, and it will measure all of your gyroscopes. And what they said is they wanted to see how is Netflix behaving while physical activity, as in when you're walking. Who's watching a movie while you're running? Of course, I read books when I walk, so I can't bash that down too much. But nevertheless, so they put this information here, and some people were questioning this, going, hey, Netflix, why does your Android app want physical activity data? Guys, you always want to look at the applications you're installing on your devices. Look at those permissions. If you're playing a game that wants access to your contact list, there's something shady going on. Okay, Netflix is here to watch movies. Why do they need your physical activity again? Well, that's what the security researcher wanted to know, so you can actually allow it or deny it, so you can actually set the permissions if you want. Hard fork. There you go. So they responded back. So here is their PR person talking. How do we know? Because the PR person is moving their lips. All right. We are continually testing ways to give our members a better experience. This was part of a test to see how we can improve video playback quality when a member is on the go. Only some accounts are in the test, and we currently don't have plans to roll it out. So some people just randomly had this thing attached to their Netflix app. Huh. Interesting. So it had to be embedded in the code. Is the code executing randomly? Is the code just displaying the trick randomly? There's a lot of questions about this. And it's very interesting, of course. If you just turn off all these proximity sensors, pretty much everything on your phone, cool. That's okay. Whatever. Oh, yes. Google, Apple announced this too, but Google will pause listening to the EU voice recordings while regulators investigate. Just to the EU one. So, guys, yes, it did come out. Of course, it came out a few weeks back that Amazon Alexa, hey Alexa, order unicorn meat, confirm. That your Alexa was, shipping out sound bites to go out to third-party people in some third world countries and pay them a few pennies a day to analyze what you're saying as if they could even understand the culture anyway. Last week, I think it was, or maybe 2 weeks ago, we reported on Apple was doing the same thing. Now, of course, we've known Google's been doing it. So now here Google is setting up and it's like, well, over there in the European Union where people make a big deal about us, we're not going to be listening to your stuff anymore. The rest of y'all are screwed. People, get these smart speakers out of your house. They're listening to what you're doing. They're taking your sound bites. They're passing them to third world people. They're sitting down there listening to your discussions. They're hearing all the things you're doing. Stop with the smart speakers, people. Stop with the smart speakers. There's no use for these stupid things, all right? So anyway, Google, because of the EU investigation, and yeah, EU's already been, they've already taken, a few days' income already this week, so they didn't want to, risk any more. So, all right, EU, well, you guys do your investigation. We're not going to go ahead and listen to your stuff anymore. That's all right with us. All right, why not? Sure, why not? And so, Google, they're not listening. If you're over there in EU, they're not listening to your conversations anymore. The rest of y'all, wake up, unplug these stupid things, go out, play some baseball with them, whatever else. Oh boy, this is exciting. Facial recognition tech comes to schools and summer camps. Who sends their kids out to summer camps? Remember, you go out and send your kids out to summer camps. As Christians, we send them out to VBSs and, they got the day camps, you got the whole week-long camps. It's a great time. Well, now this company called, Waldo, okay? The idea, of course, is where's my kid? People looking through all these summer camp pictures that they get, where's my kid? Is my kid really here? I mean, come on. So now this company called Waldo comes up. Where's Waldo? So it brings up this company called Waldo comes up, and now they're selling the software. Now, there's two payment options. The one of those is that the camp can pay Waldo for, or the other is when the parent... when the parent goes in and drops off their kid, they have the option to pay Waldo, which is either $1 or $2 per child per day. And so with this, what happens is the people that are going around snapping photos of all the kids having a good time uploads the photos to a server where the parent has sent a reference photo into Waldo, say, where's my Waldo at, yo? And then the company comes down and they go in and they go in and now they will have text messages or a dashboard where they can see the photos that just feature their kids based on the facial recognition AI technology. I know this is Wall Street Journal. Fortunately, I have a friend with a subscription Wall Street Journal, so he sent me the PDF of the article, and I thought this was a very well-written article. But the concern is, hey, now we're doing facial ID data recognition on kids, and of course, we're not sharing your data. We're deleting the stuff if it's not applicable or when the parent says to. Guys, how long is it going to be before their backup data are hacked? They got a leaky S3 bucket. They got all sorts of stuff going on. I mean, guys, we don't need this kind of stuff. Now, schools wanted to start rolling this out, so other facial recognitions wanted to use schools. In some cases, hey, is there somebody on campus that's not supposed to be here? So the only potential positive I saw for any of this in this article was that, a school could maintain an individual database of people. Maybe you have a child abuse situation and the grandparents are crazy and keep on wanting to come to the school to pick the kids up. The photo of the grandparents that aren't allowed in the school are passed on to the school district, and they come anywhere near the school, the office and security is immediately alerted to the presence of a person who's not allowed near the school. I get that understanding. The problem is that these things are constantly grabbing the data. So if you wanted to implement something like this, all of the processing must be done on premise, and none of the children photos can be uploaded, stored anywhere else. If that's the way you're implementing it, I'm probably okay with a system like that. But anything that requires any degree of cloud processing, this is an issue, and we need to not do. All right, but I mean, this idea of let's send our kids out and get everyone all used to facial recognition, this stuff is permeating our society, people, and we got to stop with this facial recognition. Now, fortunately, one of the schools that was kind of first on the list of wanting this was up in New York, but the New York politicians backed up and said no, and they barred the school from using it until a thorough investigation is done. So kudos to you, New York, because you're actually keeping an eye out for the kids. What about the rest of us? You know. So it was a very fascinating read. Definitely check that article out. And if you have an Amazon, or excuse me, a Wall Street Journal subscription, you can read that. I have the article linked there. All right. Oh boy, on to our feature for the day. Amazon told police that it has partnered with 200 law enforcement agencies. It's like, you didn't understand, like, I wonder if they actually got that title right or wrong. Because it's like Amazon told the police at partner. Wait, what? No, let me tell you what's going on here. What's going on is that Amazon's part of their deal to try and get these Ring doorbells. So the Ring doorbell is this smart doorbell perpetually connected to your Wi-Fi that has a camera on it and basically takes all those images and stores them on an Amazon cloud. And the idea is with these smart doorbells, of course, there's an app, and someone comes in, rings your door, you can talk to them through the app and blah, blah, blah. Well, part of Amazon's deal to sell these is to actually go out to the law enforcement agencies in town and get them to start promoting Ring. And I didn't include there was another article here, but Amazon's actually giving the police the posts that can be used in their social media accounts or their press releases. And the idea is that the police have their own special affiliate link. And any time that the police affiliate link is used to sell a Ring door product, the police are getting a commission they're not getting money back, but they're getting money toward getting their own rings. And then it gets worse because all of these rings are all tied together in a background deal with law enforcement, that any law enforcement agency involved in this gets an entire map network of every house in their jurisdiction that has a Ring doorbell. Ah! Surveillance state! Big Brother is now actually watching! You got a doorbell! Always collecting feed on an Amazon server, and the police know where that is. Now, can they get in there and view that data? Probably. Are they allowed without a warrant or your permission? No. Is that going to stop them? Probably not. People, stop putting this crap on your house. Especially when the police are coming down. Dude, they're making a giant network of these things. The police know where all of them are. In the entire jurisdiction. This is insanity. This is insanity. Now, there's a neighborhood version of this that you can get as well. It's not quite as robust. So here's actually some of the information. Ring user customers. Portal site is only on the desktop. Phone app coming soon. That's called Portal, by the way. That's exciting. So Ring did not respond to their comments. No kidding. Are you really executing police state? No comment. No comment. No comment. But we take security seriously. We only ship off every third recording to some third world sweatshop somewhere to analyze the data. Yeah, we believe you, Amazon. We believe you. Full disclosure, use my Amazon link up there if you want to buy something. I mean, I'm telling you. Yeah, there is a neighborhood watch app, but let's actually look at some of this here. At least 200 law enforcement agencies around the country have entered into partnerships with Amazon's home surveillance company Ring, according to an email obtained by Motherboard via a public record request. Ring has never disclosed the exact number of partnerships it maintains with law enforcement. However, the company's partnered with at least 200 law enforcement agencies, according to notes taken by a police officer during a Ring webinar, which he emailed to himself in April. It's probable the number of partnerships has changed since the day the email was sent. The officer sent the email, told Motherboard that the email was a transcribed version of the handwritten notes that he took during a team webinar with Ring representatives on April 9th. Additional emails obtained by Motherboard indicate that the webinar trained officers on how to use the Law Enforcement Neighborhood Portal. The portal allows local police to see a map with the approximate locations of all Ring cameras in a neighborhood and request footage directly from the camera owners. Owners need to consent, but police do not need a warrant to ask for footage. All right, the email obtained was sent by a Waynesboro, Virginia police chief. Anyone out there in Waynesboro? In an email subject line, neighbors by Ring notes. All right. So, yeah, this is kind of creepy. This is literally Big Brother is actually now watching. So we have officially entered 1984 territory. Are you comforted? Hey, man, peace is war. What do you think? War is peace. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below.